Come on.
Hello?
How are you?
It is amazing, isn't it? Like, you know, all these tough men like Mike Tyson and Chris Eubank and Nigel Benn, and then God just goes, but I'll give them a lift.
Oh, yeah. Ah, good enough, Bono, yeah.
God is fair.
God is fair, indeed. How are you doing? Are you all right?
I'm great, really good.
Good.
You old pirate.
Good. Mio. But yeah, did you see that at the beginning, yeah?
Well, it's
Bit sad, that. See the hair, yeah?
It's amazing to see you, I have to say, having seen you in that bearded state in that pirate radio station all those years ago, and to see you looking younger than you did 20 years ago is a little bit of a shock. How do you do it, Stanley?
I don't take compliments very well, so shut up, you bastard, and answer the question. Here goes, right? We're going to start with something, right? Next Thursday in Berlin.
Right.
The Berlin Film Festival opens.
Yeah.
Another string to the Bono bow. This is a movie, right? This has been going around for a long time. I mean,
Right.
you wrote this movie or something. Or you wrote the story or the...
Yeah. It's a movie. It's called $1 Million Hotel.
Yeah.
It's hard to describe. Stars Mel Gibson. He plays this kind of super cop with a arm sticking out of his back, and that's about the most ordinary, normal thing about the whole movie. It's set in a downtown LA hotel, which still exists, called the $1 Million Hotel, and Wim Wenders is the director.
Yeah.
And I mean, look, you know, you go out on tour, you get these big ideas in your head, and then years later they come into some fruition. I'm really thrilled with it, actually.
Okay, Wim Wenders has made things like Paris, Texas, The Wings of Desire, the Buena Vista Social Club recently. You've been collaborating with him for a good while. He's made videos with you, you dedicated a song on one of the albums to him as well, all that sort of thing. Have you hung around with him a lot?
Yeah, we made an album called Acting Baby in Berlin, and Wim Wenders lives in Berlin, and we kind of got to know him there, and we did the title track for a movie of his called Until the End of the World.
Yeah.
And another one called Stay Far Away So Close. So it's it's an ongoing relationship we have with him. I really like him. He's a real gentleman.
Yeah.
And the movie is not an action picture. It's not what you'd expect from Mel Gibson. It's a very odd European look at America and the kind of people you might find in this low-rent accommodation in downtown LA. We lived in LA. The band moved there at the end of the 80s, and I was quite attracted to this place. So.
Okay, like it's about friendship, it's about betrayal, and the main guy is Jeremy Davies, who's simple. Can I say simple?
Yeah, well,
slow.
the protagonist, his name is Tom, and the opening of the movie, he jumps off the roof of the hotel, and the first line is, "After I jumped, it occurred to me, life is perfect. Life is the best. It's full of magic. It's full of possibilities. And television."
Okay, but the guy, okay, but it's Mel Gibson who's in the movie here, who's an FBI guy who comes to the hotel to try to find out who may have pushed or did the guy jump, the Tim Roth character. Okay, now, he turns out to be a very rich guy, and they didn't know all this, and all the guys in the hotel thought they knew him very well. He's a junkie or an ex-junkie or something.
You shouldn't try and tell the story, because I've tried.
When
I'm pitching it to Hollywood.
I haven't even
takes about a half an hour.
I know, it's strange. Okay, we're going to show a clip from it now. And this is a clip where Mel Gibson decides he's sick of all these guys, and I'm going to take a bit of control here. Let's have a look at this bit here. Yeah, there it is. $1 Million Hotel is what it's called, and it's going to start the Berlin Film Festival next Thursday. And it's already done extremely well review-wise so far, yeah?
Yeah, Rolling Stone magazine says it's the best Wim Wenders film. People, look, I think some people will love it and some people will loathe it, being honest. You know, it's not for everybody. It's kind of a tone poem. It's a very, very beautiful thing that he does, though, as a filmmaker. If you're tired of the usual Hollywood schlock, and I know your favorite movie is Titanic, so you probably aren't. But if you're tired of all that, he's a status quo Titanic man, you know.
No, I'll tell you, there's one of my favorite movies of all time is Harold and Maude.
Oh,
and
yes.
Harold is in this movie, and I haven't seen him in the movie for 30 years.
Bud Court.
Yeah.
Yeah, extraordinary man.
He's still alive and well. He was very young, of course, in that first one. Okay, you're in another movie, by the way. Sorry, you're in this movie for about 3 or 4 seconds, aren't you?
Yeah, he talked me into it. I wish I hadn't been talked into it. It's just, you know, the shot goes by and you see, oh, there's Bono, he's in his own movie. To me, it's a bit of a vomit, but But anyway, I did it for him.
Okay, what about the one you actually act in and talk in, Entropy? What's that about? As in, I wish I hadn't brought that up.
No, it's fine to bring it up. Myself and Larry are in this movie called Entropy. It's not been released ever.
Great.
You can get it on video, and it's great. I'm very proud of it.
Good, I'm glad
the
to hear
movie's
it.
very good.
Moving swiftly on,
My
yeah.
own performance is wooden, to say the least.
Really?
But, you know, hey, did it for a mate.
Did it for a mate. Okay, you got an album coming out, probably what, September, October direction maybe?
Yeah,
Okay.
we're finishing. We'll have it finished by May.
And what kind of an album is it? And don't just say a U2 album.
It's look, if I was a painter or a writer or a filmmaker or a poet or whatever, when you get into your 30s, you know you'd just be hitting form. You know, you might just be figuring out and getting on it. With rock bands, it's not often the case, and you know they get burnt out. Well, U2's not burnt out right now. Little shagged out this evening, but not burnt out, and we're ready to make the best record, the record we've waited all our lives to make. And it has to be great to break that thing that people have. Oh yeah, they've had it, you know, they've hit it, they've made it. Now they'll just chill out and, you know, have a fish farm in Wales. We're not ready for that. And, you know, some good bands out there now, Oasis and Radiohead and all these good bands. And they're good. They're the boys. We're the men.
Okay. So wait a minute. Then, Bono. On that note, since the first album was 20 years ago, it was called Boy, and you're 40 in May, is this called Man?
No man.
No man.
No gay. But how's the Harley anyway?
The Harley's fine actually, yeah.
Great. It looks good, and I think you should be on every week here. It looks good, and I think you should be on every week here.
When you're in the studio with this album, with say Brian Eno, right, you're going around the place, is there a different way that you might approach it this time? Like there was one story I heard that Eno says, I want you all to tell us what your 15 or 20 favourite songs are of all time. And the 40 or whatever, and Eno himself, you had 60 songs. I heard that 52 of those are from black artists. Is that true?
Completely untrue.
Oh, well then I didn't. Okay, fair enough. We'll go on to something else.
No, like, you know, the thing about it is on our last record, we had a lot of fun experimenting with what was going on in dance music and club culture and trying to bring it into rock and roll. This record is about making a record that only a band could make. So if you like the bands and what Larry, Edge, and Adam and myself do, you'll probably like the record. If you don't, you really won't, because it's a record made by 4 players in a room. We're approaching it like it's all or nothing for us. We're not ready to be in a band relying on your past work. I'm not ready for that. I have too much, whether it's vanity, ego, or self-respect. That's you can decide. But we all feel the same. We feel we're going for this or we're not. So we're making a great record, and as I say, it's a record we waited all our lives to make. It's even easy to make. Some of our records are nightmares. And Brian and Eno and Daniel Lamar, our producers, are really helpful. Daniel Lamar is a very gifted musician. I think he's in physical pain unless he's around a great music. So we'll either make a great record, or he or us will be dead.
Yeah, but sometimes I wonder about Brian Eno, because being the producer of the album, of certainly working with you on the album, he said himself he hates rock music.
You should never work with people who are your fans, is my opinion. I knew he did. I knew he wasn't a fan of us. That was one of the reasons we got to work with him. I wanted to know the other side of the argument. I knew what was right about us. Yeah. I wanted to find out what wasn't.
Okay, how's Il Papa?
I beg your pardon?
The Pope? Was he cool?
He was very, very cool. He was genuine, and in fact, the word is cool. He had some massive dancing shoes on, and myself and Geldof were there, and we were kind of giggling as we went. It was his summer residence, Castle Gandolfo, and they kept bringing us from inner sanctum to inner sanctum. It was like a video game, just, you know, where is he going to be? And the rooms were getting smaller, and the thrones were getting bigger, and we were kind of giggling. We couldn't help it. And Quincy Jones was with us, who's kind of a legendary jazz guy, produced Michael Jackson. He was saying, look at all the tapestries of the apostles. They're all doing, you know, they're all getting down on the hood, you know, all of these. And we were sort of laughing, and then we stopped laughing as this very beautiful man with a beatific face walked into the room, just this kind of just whelming kind of concentration to be there and to get over his infirmities and to be with us. And I found it quite moving. And then I noticed the oxblood Gucci slip-ons. And I thought, whoa. And he was, I thought he was staring at me. I wasn't sure. And then I thought, well, why would that be? And I realized I had these glasses quite like these on. So I thought, oh gosh, I hope he doesn't think I'm disrespecting him in any way. So I took off my glasses, and when I was talking with him, he was looking at them. And I think very spiritual people, I think they probably have above a lot of things, a sense of fun. Yeah. And he kind of just looked at the glasses, and he put them on. And he put this kind of mad, kind of wicked grin. And all the Vatican photographers went, and I thought, fantastic, you know, we'll be on the cover of every newspaper, because Jubilee really needed the exposure. Jubilee 2000 is a debt relief thing we've done. Yeah. And I thought, this is amazing, but in fact they wouldn't release the photographs. Because I think they feared the T-shirt, you know, the Pope would... I mean, the people around him didn't have, unfortunately, the same sense of humor as he had. But I was very moved to be there. And what he read out, by the way, was this incendiary kind of diatribe about how the West has a responsibility to deal with what's going on in the rest of the world. And I think that one of the lines that he read out was, with private property, there comes a personal mortgage, and with intellectual property. And he was talking, the same guy who had worked behind the scenes to pull down the Iron Curtain is, in his last days, and I hope he has many more to come, he's now working at a much bigger and higher wall that he wants to pull down, which is this obscene and widening gap between the people who have, like myself, and the people who haven't. So I applaud him, and I'm very grateful for him. Okay, well, let's just take a look at this bit here now of Bono meeting the Pope, because we have just a few seconds of this where he hands over the sunglasses. Oh, dear. Well, they edit. You'll see them edit. You are a great showman as well as a great holy man. That is for you. And also my glasses I give to you. Okay, Bono, very cool. Bono, on a political, intellectual... Seamus Heaney's poetry. That's right, you gave him Seamus Heaney's. I gave him too, yeah. Poetry as well. Like, on all the levels, from like morally, economically, etc., Jubilee 2000 makes complete sense. What is it in a nutshell? It's just basically to reduce or completely obliterate third world debt. You know, I can't do anything in a nutshell. But I remember, and some of you may remember Live Aid, and I remember after Live Aid, we raised $200 million for Africa. And we were jumping up and down. We thought, this is incredible. We've cracked it. We were so proud of Geldof. We were all proud to be a part of that. Yeah.